Hey guys, it's Doris. And I just wanted to cover a little bit of news. So, first off, if you noticed tonight and picked up on tonight on Monday Night Raw that Jay Uso was using the word yeet again, you may not have seen the article that I saw over the weekend that apparently WWE was hit with a trademark violation for Jay Uso using the word yeet. Apparently, it was in 2021 trademarked by a young indie wrestler named Casey Scott Huffman, not to be confused with Booker T, who is Hoffman. I don't believe there's any relation. But apparently that trademark issue has been resolved. And now Jey Uso and WWE are now once again allowed to produce merchandise and say the word yeet. There was no information on how it was resolved, just that the two parties came to a resolution. My thinking is he's an independent wrestler. They may have offered him a tryout or a contract, something like that. I mean, because you got to figure right now, Jey Uso's incredibly popular. Yeet is incredibly popular. It took off like a bat out of hell. So they are looking at making a lot of money off that merchandise. So they really wouldn't be losing any money if they were to offer this kid a tryout or even a developmental contract. So I'm not saying that is what happened, but in my head, that's probably the cheapest way for them to get out of it and be able to avoid the trademark issues. So that was first off. Another thing that came up was Seth Rollins. I know it's early, but Seth Rollins' contract is up in June of 2024. As of right now, there's no talks that are being reported. But like I said, it's still early. Ordinarily, I think they would start those talks like 6 months in advance, if not more. The one thing we have to look forward to is Seth is incredibly popular. A lot of people in the company like him. More than likely, they are going to give him what he wants if he should ask for more money. And then we have to think that their outlook on it is going to be Becky Lynch. If they lose Seth, they could lose Becky. So I'm thinking we don't have any worries of him re-signing a new contract. But yeah, his contract is up in June. Speaking of releases, some of the recent WWE releases that we may be seeing soon because their no compete clauses are coming up include Dolph Ziggler, who has already booked himself in Puerto Rico for when his no compete clause does expire. Mustafa Ali, Matt Riddle, Riddick Moss, Top Dollar, Elias, Dabba-Kato, and Shanky. Those are just some of the names whose no compete clauses are going to be up soon. So they'll more than likely, there's some of them that have already said that they were going to be going to the Indies in Japan or in Puerto Rico, but some of them have not stated with it what they're going to do. So that's something to look forward to. For an update on Charlotte Flair, if you watched SmackDown, you saw that at one point she landed awkwardly, hitting her head and landing on her leg. If you didn't hear her, she screamed, "My knee." That was a legitimate injury. We're not really sure as of today. There was nothing released as far as what the injury is, just that it is a legitimate injury and she has been pulled from all live events and shows until further notice. I have included in the description a video of the injury, of not her injuring it, but of the ref tending to her after the match. So if you're interested in seeing what I'm talking about, it is from SmackDown. The link will be in the description. All right, so Charlotte will be out for, not really sure if it's going to be 6 months, a year, more than that. We really haven't been told what the injury entails, just that it is a legitimate injury. And apparently TNA, the wrestling company, they're going back to TNA Impact, if you did not know. They have partnered with Endeavor. Yes, the same Endeavor who is the mother company now of WWE and UFC, but not for them owning TNA, just for they are partnering to make a new streaming streaming service for TNA products and some UFC products. There's no word that TNA will be working with WWE. From what I read, it really has nothing to do with WWE and more of the mother company Endeavor. But yeah, so I mean, you don't know what's going to come out of that. If it's a good partnership, we could see lines interchanging between TNA and WWE. Not saying it's going to happen. It's a possibility if they're starting another partnership with TNA for something different. I looked up to see if I could find any updates on Dutch Mandel. If you did not hear, he posted on X last week that he has been hospitalized. Didn't really give away why he was hospitalized. He just was quoted as to say, "I've been really sick for a while. Packages have been lost or misplaced." I don't know if that is pertaining to his memory. He could have memory problems. We've seen it with a lot of the older wrestlers who took a lot of headshots. A lot of them now are suffering from memory loss or early Alzheimer's. I'm not saying that's what it is. Like I said, he did not specify on what the sickness was. Just that he's been sick and he has been hospitalized. He did ask for fans to respect his family's privacy and let them go through this journey, and they will update us as they're able. AEW, there was a lot of sour feelings over a producer firing. A lot of people that I'm hearing thought that it was Kevin Sullivan, as in WCW, ECW Kevin Sullivan. It was not that Kevin Sullivan. It's a different Kevin Sullivan, not the Kevin Sullivan that was a wrestler. So I don't know if that's why a lot of people had bad feelings about that. But yeah, apparently completely different person. He was a VP of post-production. Again, not to be confused with NWA, WCW, ECW wrestler Kevin Sullivan. but it's still, according to Dave Meltzer, still was met with unanimous negative reaction behind the curtain. He added that Sullivan was popular among talent and production staff. People who work for Tony Khan's promotion believe that Sullivan was the best at doing his job, which included creating video packages and vignettes, as well as piecing together content for YouTube. Meltzer noted last week that Sullivan was responsible for building AEW's entire post-production team. The reason why Sullivan was fired has yet to be disclosed, although AEW co-owner and CEO Khan did not overrule the call to let him go. However, Sullivan was allegedly told that AEW was going in a different direction, which is consistent with QT Marshall's decision to leave the promotion. Marshall, who works as an on-screen talent and wears many hats behind the scenes, mentioned that the company has changed a lot since 2019 and is headed to a different direction when he announced on social media that he was departing AEW at the end of the year. According to reports, AEW is going to start prioritizing in-ring action similar to New Japan Pro Wrestling over storylines and angles. So yeah, that is what the most recent news is on AEW. I've also been hearing, as far as AEW, that although they are still making money, they are not filling seats. They're having a hard time selling out their shows. They've been moving people forward that are on televised events, so it looks like there's a lot of people there. I haven't been to any shows myself. I know people personally through YouTube that have been to AEW shows and have said that it didn't seem like a whole lot of people were there and that they were moved forward. Their seats were upgraded at no cost. And again, this is for televised shows, so it's making it look more full. And if you are not aware, the movie Iron Claw, the movie about the Von Erich family, I've been doing some of the WCCW videos, and that was full in expectation of this movie coming out. It is being released on December 22nd in the United States. I believe it was released in Texas originally in November. It's been released in Canada, I believe, at the beginning of December, but we will get to see it December 22nd. I don't think there's much more to tell you guys. If you hear of anything that you want me to look into, let me know. Other than that, guys, I will see you later. I love you guys. Have a great week, and I'll see you when I see you. Not really sure when that will be, but I'll still be putting out videos. Love you guys. Peace.